Man, it is such a beautiful morning out here. It's all foggy and wonderful. I was going through the channel this morning looking for questions for the Q&A. And it just didn't happen. Sometimes videos are like that, where you really have to do the content. You have to do it a particular way, and then something happens or doesn't happen in your mind, and so you have to run with it. You have to do something else. This topic was brought up because of the recent Daily Mail article that was done on Townsends. I got a call up, I don't know, 10 days ago or so, and they said they were interested in doing an interview. And so I talked to them for quite a while, sent them some pictures, and then a different person called back up, and I talked to them for quite a while. And the article was just amazing. It was huge and long with all these pictures. So I really want to thank the folks at Daily Mail for such a tremendous job they did on the article. I am stunned and so appreciative of what they did. But whenever those people start asking you questions like that, it always makes you kind of introspective. At least it does me. And I began thinking, I ask people all the time in interviews, situations, why do you do what you do? Specifically in historical reenacting and things like that. Why do you do what you do? I don't always ask myself that same question. Sometimes I ask that as a group, as a community, that question. But why me? Why do I personally do that? Why am I so excited about what we do? Let me tell you, when I grew up as a kid, I was very, very interested in archaeology, anthropology, dinosaurs, ancient civilizations, all that stuff. Always intrigued me. And I think the reason why is because all those things they're like treasures that are lying all around us, on the ground, buried under the surface, and sometimes just sitting on the surface. We trip over them. We think they're rocks, but in fact, they're treasures. That's how it always feels to me, like when you're dipping into history, because there's so much that we've forgotten and lost. Like, you're like a favorite toy, a pocket knife or something like that, and you left it lying somewhere. And then, you find it a day or a year or 10 years later, and whoa, that is so incredible. All these things in history are just exactly like that, except other people have left them for us or lost them, and we can find them again. Even the idea of Peter Goebel, there's the Peter Goebel video, he's the coppersmith, and he talks about rediscovering these techniques, these lost techniques. No one wrote them down. And so the only way to figure them out is to, look at the pieces that are left over, which there aren't that many, and try to reproduce exactly the same kind of markings and exactly the same kinds of methods that will produce that kind of work. It is difficult, but it gives you this amazing feeling of accomplishment to figure these things out. And it turns out that, we today in the modern world think we're so smart or whatever, and we've lost so much. People 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 2,000 years ago knew things that we have no idea about. And this is the way we can reclaim some of these things. And the doing part of history, the part that I'm so excited about, these treasures that we find, they don't mean anything sometimes until we actually work with it, until we actually do it. We can read something in a book and that's an interesting fact. But still, until you actually do it, you can't understand it. It's like finding this amazing tool or toy from history and you never wind it up. You never actually use it. Until we do these things, they don't actually mean anything to us. So, every time I read a book, every time I look at a recipe, every time I read something from an author and he's talking about a set of people in a particular place, I feel like I've stumbled onto a brand new treasure. That's what gets me up in the morning. That's what gets me excited about what we do, and the ability to go out and share it. Doing this on YouTube, sharing what I discover, that's, again, one of those things where, if I find a treasure, but I never show it to anyone, again, it really doesn't mean anything. It's almost like it's not there at all. But when I get to share it, wow, I get to share this treasure with everyone. And that gets me so excited. So I want to encourage you to do this same kind of thing in your own way. Everyone does it in their own way. What kind of treasures are you excited about? What's your favorite way of, experimenting and trying these things out? You're on this channel for a reason. And I'll bet it's because whether you knew it or not, you're interested in these treasures that are left behind for us in history, and you're interested in experimenting and trying them out, and maybe you're interested in sharing them too. I really want to encourage you to discover these things, try these things, and share them. It is so much fun, and we need this. We need to connect with history. We need to understand it so that we can understand ourselves and where we came from, so that we can move into the future. And if there's so much to learn in the past, there's so much to learn in the future, and it isn't that difficult. So many people just go through life blind with their eyes shut, stumbling around, doing the same thing day after day, and getting nowhere. There is so much to do, so much to learn. I'm going to get out there and do it. I hope you come along with me. Thank you for your amazing support of what we do. It's not just me. There's all these people, and they're all a different part of this machine that is, that makes it so that I can do this in front of the camera. There's so many people standing back there. I really want to encourage you, and thank you for your encouragement of me and your amazing support. Again, I am so excited about, what it is that we do and the treasures that we find every day and sharing them. Thank you for your support on this channel by watching the videos, by commenting on the videos, by giving them thumbs up, and by sharing the videos. That is so special. And there's folks that support us on Patreon or support us by going to our website. Again, I want to thank you for your incredible support and your interest in what we do. Thanks for joining me today as I get excited about dipping back into history. Thanks for watching.